Hi everyone, my name is Bodie McFarland. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Ratchet Effect in business. First, I want to start off with what is the Ratchet Effect. In a simplified version, it's using past year's data to set incentive goals for the next or future years. One of my favorite stories that kind of helps depict the Ratchet Effect is a pole vaulter by the name of Sergey Bubka. He ended up setting the world record for pole vaulting 35 times. This is an amazing feat, but there's a reason he set this in 35 times and not just maybe one or two. The reason being was Nike would pay him $100,000 for every time he broke the record. So Bubka realized, why would I break it in a big esteem versus, smaller increments and make sure that I get the 100,000 and I can break it again and again and again? Well, this is the same concept in business. We give sales managers an incentive. They don't want to beat their goals heavily because they don't want to have to the next year be penalized to meet the same goal. So I want to go over next kind of an example of what the Ratchet Effect is. Let's say that you have a salesperson who their quarterly goal is about 250,000. This person's going along and they seem to be getting more and more sales easily than they should have. And halfway through the quarter, they're realizing they're going to be 300,000 or 350,000 in sales. Knowing that they are going to beat their goal by this much, and they may have to be held accountable to the same standards going forward, what does the salesperson do? Typically, they'll gear back and make sure that they don't overachieve on this incentive goal, so then they're not held accountable. Next, I want to go into getting things right. The most important thing is that setting targets is an art. You need to be somewhere in the middle of something that's too hard and something that's too easy. One way to achieve this would be SMART goals. A lot of organizations and articles talk about SMART goals as a way to do this. Another thing to be aware of is information asymmetry. What information asymmetry is one party knowing information that the other party doesn't. And this information is relevant to setting goals. So, for a sales manager or a salesperson, for example, they have frontline experience of what the sales market's going to be versus the sales manager who may not have that frontline experience. So that's one thing to be aware of is information asymmetry. Producing solutions with the Ratchet Effect. To prevent the Ratchet Effect, managers need to credibly convince their employees that they won't ratchet up the targets if they hit their goals or there's a windfall. And what windfall means is it's a one-off year from the typical years that we see. There's multiple ways in doing this, and on the slide in producing solutions. These are contracting, job rotation, improve information systems, relative performance evaluations, tight labor markets. There are two that I really want to focus on, and these two main suggested methods are contracts and trust. Contracts are, in essence, what they mean. It's a contract between the employer and the employee saying we won't ratchet your goals for the next coming years. The problem with this is you may not get performance from your employees. You can kind of do a hybrid of this schedule and say, we're going to be able to ratchet it in these circumstances if this happens, but contracts can be a good way to give your employees the security that they need to feel safe and not get hit by the Ratchet Effect. Probably the most crucial in the ways of combating the Ratchet Effect is trust. Establishing trust improves productivity, morale, teamwork, and decision-making is quicker amongst those who feel like they are trusted. Without trust, you're going to have the Ratchet Effect. That's just bottom line of what it is. It's costly for organizations to have the Ratchet Effect, and employees need to be able to trust their manager for sure. Some ways that you can help develop trust are honesty. It's the backbone of the building trust relationships. Matching your actions to what you say. Don't just walk the walk, talk the talk. It's important to listen to your employees. especially if your employees bring a disposition to you and you're not just setting it aside, you quickly help them resolve this issue. And then patience, any parent out there can tell you that patience is virtue, and the same stems with your employees. So ratcheting effect can affect all firms out there. It is a problem that you might not be getting all that you can with your employees. So one of the main key factors is building trust. If you don't see this as a feasible option, that would be the first option. Then I would look into something along the lines of setting a contract with your employees.